What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with more unboxing videos. Surprise, surprise. And so, I've been finding myself in the last few times doing more of these on a pre-recorded basis and releasing them later. I will admit that these are not near as fun. It does allow me to put my introduction video at the front, and it also allows people to watch it at their leisure. There are a lot of live shows going on right now. YouTube's not pushing shows like mine up to the top of the ladder. So, you know, instead of interfering with somebody else's live stream, watch it at your leisure. Feel free to comment in the comments down below about the finds that I get, what you're collecting, or anything of that nature. So yeah, I got home today and there are some big finds. Some are various auctions that have been going on. There are a lot of good ones. I've been picking up a lot on the Midnight, let's see, Z Collects channel. Hack, J Blitz, and Z. And so we've been picking up a lot there. This right here is from Mr. Comics 89. If you haven't been checking out his channel, be sure to go and check out his channel. I know he dropped a video. I was supposed to be on it, but I had some other commitments, and so I wasn't able to do it. And so these are some that I picked up from him on the end of the month pop-up shop on JB's channel, which JB needs no introduction. I'm sure everybody knows JB and Discovery Bay. If you don't, go check them out. But this one right here is one that I got off of there that he was doing. And so basically, Mr. Comics 89 saw some stuff I wanted. I saw some stuff he wanted. So basically, we ended up just trading, essentially. So picked up, this one was one that was behind one I got, Miss Marvel 37. Not a big Miss Marvel fan, but I know a lot of people are, so good for them. George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones, Dynamite Entertainment, issue number 2. I like all that kind of stuff. Never read George Martin, never got into Game of Thrones, but here it's pretty cool. This is a reprint of Spider-Man, ASM something, Web of Spider-Man 31, it says. And it is a reprint of that story. The Kraven's Last Hunt, probably one of the best Spider-Man ever done. Amazing Fantasy 15. Yes, don't get excited for me for that copy. As you can see right here, it is the facsimile edition. But picked that up. And then also the Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle, number 2 of 5. I've heard mixed reviews. Heard some say that this was great. Heard some say not so great. I guess it's that way with everything. But those are my pickups from him. Now, I've got some big books. I'm going to open up, I think, the smaller ones first, or intend to rather. Open up the smaller ones first. We'll see if I can do that right. This is interesting. Never seen somebody do it this way before. I don't want to cut the comic, but I don't want to bend it either, trying to open up that envelope, and it, dadgummit. And take a chance on one of the two happening. Here we go. X-O Manowar. You knew there had to be some Valiant love in here somewhere, right? There is quite a bit. X-O Manowar number 1. Little Bob Layton action. If I finally get around to having con season again, I'm planning to get him to sign that. I'm going to get him to do a sketch cover for me too. He's been posting a lot on Instagram, a lot of cool sketch variants. And this next box is from Hack 79, And so Hack posted some stuff on a pre-auction video, and I saw it. I'm like, hey man, how much is this? How much is this? How much is... So he pulled it all out for me. So I got some first dibs on some cool stuff. So that was cool. But I'm like, hey, I just got him to send me this. But like I've said before in my videos, just me personally, once I get to a full box, I'm like, oh, go ahead, send me my stuff. And some people are good about saying, hey, look, man, you ain't got to pay for this. You only got to pay for this part of it until I go to ship your stuff. And I understand that and I appreciate that. But I like to get my stuff in my hand and see it and let it know it's mine. So Batman Year One, some Frank Miller goodness, 404, number 404. I bet you can't guess the story that's told right here. It's been told a million times through history. Nightwing, number 15. This is the cover that you can, that's the holes are taken out of this so that you can be the Joker. I wonder if that's Joker number 1, 2, or 3. But I picked that up because it was a Joker cover. Also picked up this Jim Lee Justice League number 8 Joker cover. Okay. This one came free. I think somebody in the community bought it, or maybe he was just giving it away. I can't remember, but X-Men and Eternals Manifest Destiny, Eternals number 8. Little Cannonball special, but it's not Colossus throwing Wolverine. Batman number 0. I've got the free comic book day or the Batman anniversary edition of this, but I did not have the actual 0 issue. Batman Detective Comics number 3. This is the new 52 era. They had added the Batman to Detective Comics, and so renumbered them. Red Hood and the Outlaws 16. Some Tyler Kirkham goodness right there. Cover alone. That's a cover by alone by itself, but I do like the Red Hood. And then Detective Comics number 500. Got a lot of creators there along the side for that anniversary issue. Len Wein, of course, he's deceased now. Walter Simonson, Joe Kubert, Dick Giordano, I think he's deceased too. Yeah, a lot of talented creators from the days of old, and so great to pick that up. I'm already started a new box, like I said, with him last night. He was happy to sell some stuff, and I was happy to pick up some deals, so we're both happy. Not sure which one this one is versus that one. I'll know in a second. Now I know. So, got to looking at sketch covers. As you know, I've been picking up a lot more sketch covers. Probably, especially if the con season will come back. I'll probably do more of these, but I've really been hesitant on buying pre-done sketch covers. One, I like the experience of talking to the creator and conveying my thoughts and letting them put it on artistically on paper. Secondly, I like to have my own ideas, and so most of the time somebody else's ideas are not my own, and so I go, well, I got to thinking about certain creators that are on up there in years and probably aren't on the con scene anymore. Ones that come to my mind that are still active, or they're still living rather, is John Romita Sr., and there are some other ones that my mind is failing me right now, but one of them was Don Perlin. So if you don't know, if you're a Moon Knight fan, Don Perlin drew, I think, the first Moon Knight, certainly all the early ones, Marvel Spotlight and those like that Moon Knight was in. Perlin was the one that drew it. And for you Valiant geeks, all two of you besides myself, you know that he was also the first person to draw Bloodshot. So I've seen this on eBay, went back and forth a couple of times negotiating a price, and picked it up for what I felt like was a good price, and I guess that's all that matters. And that's a 9.4. It's a Bloodshot number 1. This is a rather new sketch cover. It's Bloodshot Reborn, so Jeff Lemire goodness there. But Don Perlin done a sketch of Bloodshot. And Don Perlin's got to be pushing 90, and so he's not on the scene much more. And for what I got this for is probably what I'd have to pay to get him to sketch it anyway. And so I liked the sketch, and I was like, hey, let's just go ahead, pull the trigger on it, and pick it up. So I did. So glad to have this little puppy in my collection. And I was thinking about doing a video, probably will over the next couple of weeks, the top 50 comics in my collection. And I was thinking about that today. The top 50 comics in my collection are not necessarily the most pricey ones, although some of the most pricey ones, because if I paid that much for them, they better be valuable to me, right? But some of them aren't. It's and you'll see if or when I get around to doing that video, and you'll see that some of my, I'm not going to try to put them in order because they're kind of like kids, you know, just like you can't have a favorite. But there are some that I have paid more for, but then I get more joy out of the ones I don't pay as much for. So, you know, whether I have changed my collecting and no longer enamored by the book, maybe I just needed it to complete a run, whatever the case may be. There are some that I paid less for, and I get more enjoyment out of having in my personal collection than others. So something rather new to me is, just to give you a hint of as to what this is. So something that's rather new to me is the idea that these comics that we all know and love have been reprinted in other countries, or they were printed here and mailed to other countries, and therefore they are either in a different language, they are have a different price sticker. If you have things called Canadian variants that have a little more value out there in the collecting community, I guess because they're rarer, harder to get. You know, I don't know. But anyhow, so I've seen different people collect those type of things, but you know, that's really never been on my mind. I've been more of a run collector, but as I talked about before, since I've now completed my Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 run, I filled in some gaps in it. By gaps, I mean maybe upgraded a couple of copies, got a newsstand whereas I only had a direct edition before, maybe got a variant where I only had an A cover before, you know, things of that nature, upgrading it. And so I thought about it, and I seen this on Instagram, that this cover right here, which I have, and by the way, spoiler alert, this English version of this comic that I have in my collection is actually going to be on that top 50 list, just because of the experience of actually getting the book. And that was the other thing that I meant to mention a while ago, was that the other thing that brings back memories is the process of getting the book signed, meeting the creator in that signing, getting the book, period, because sometimes when you're hunting things out there in the wild, or even on the internet, you know, it can be kind of a challenge at times. And so I seen this one on Instagram, and I said, went back and forth on the price, and found something that I felt was good, and so I picked it up, and that's X-Men 101. This is the iconic Phoenix cover. You notice that this is a yellow label, CBCS, and so like CGC, in order to get this yellow label, you have to witness that, and this is Chris Claremont's signature. Very interesting guy. I've met him before. I've got several things signed by him, and I'm going to get some more things signed by him. But so this just adds a little flavor to this. It is only a 4.0, it'd be interesting because one of the good things about CBCS, even though I don't use them for new stuff, is that you can either scan or look up this number right here and find out why they graded it as such. I can see a lot of things on this book that would make me understand why the low grade, but nevertheless, I'm going to look it up. So the bigger thing about this, more than just the 101, more than Chris Claremont signing it, is the fact that this is a British Pence edition. This is a British UK version of this comic. This is October of 1976, so slightly older than myself book, and this was in the UK, across the pond, as they say, and somehow made its way over here to America, and I picked it up from a collector that sells on Instagram. So picked it up at a decent deal. Actually, probably not much more than what I picked up in my personal copy after all the fees, which I'm going to share all those stories when I do put out my 50 top comics video. I'm going to share all the stories behind that, which I hope is the interesting thing. And I know everybody's got their own stories to tell, but you know, these are mine, and that's why I'm going to tell them. But my personal copy, after I had it pressed and everything, came back as a 5.0, so slightly higher, but it's not signed, and it's only the English version. It is still a new standee. So yeah, it's my first international comic book there. It's pretty cool. So got some big comics, folks, and got some big ones still coming. So appreciate you taking time out of your life, which might or might not be as busy as it usually is right now at the time of this watching, but nevertheless, taking the time out to share my comic book collecting experiences by watching this video. Hopefully you'll like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and please leave comments down below as to what you thought about the pickups that I got and what are you currently collecting. No new comic books. Allow some extra funds to go back and pick up some goodies, or maybe like this British Pence edition, some things, or even the sketch edition, things that you might not normally be able to get because of the new comic books you're able to pick up because those funds are available. Hopefully all of you are staying healthy and safe out there during this time, or any time rather. And also, if you have not checked it out, check out my 400 subscriber giveaway video to find out what you need to do to enter to win and what you can win. And then also, when we hit 300 subscribers, which I'm 3 or 4 away from now, I'm going to be doing another video giving away some more stuff. And that one I will do live so that people can chime in, and you'll have to be present to win on that particular video. But it promises to be a fun time. And as always, until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.